then slowly consume your charges of lunar eclipse, and you'll switch. You keep casting those until it sends you over into a solar eclipse, and you switch back to nature. And you're supposed to constantly balance back and forth between that, as well as maintaining 2 dots and certain other abilities that you can pop. Not to mention,
All right.
balance has pretty decent self-sustain.
I'm gonna like it's streaming, but just pull up and mute the audio because I'm gonna create a new character and I want to know what stuff.
Mage is a pure DPS class. Mage has access to 3 different elements. They have Arcane, Frost, and Fire.
Okay.
Uh,
Fire and Shadow Magic. Are they decent pet classes, like magic pet classes?
Warlock would be your magic pet class.
That can heal?
No, Warlock cannot heal. It can heal
No.
itself. It can heal its pet. Can't heal others. If you've ever wanted to play a summoner that basically summons a small army of minions, Demonology Warlock is for you. That being said,
Starter accounts
Mage,
cannot create Demon Hunters or Death Knights. Well, fuck you, D.
that's because they're above level 20. Hunter has a pet, of course, except unless you play Marksman, in which case you don't take your pet. Shaman technically has some pets. They don't use them in their heal spec, though.
Well, I don't really necessarily have to have pets. I just want it versatile.
And Mage in Frost spec has a pet, unless you take the talent where you sacrifice your pet to just get a 25% damage increase.
Which I'd say most people would do.
Depends. In PvP, you don't want that necessarily. I know you're not... If you end up liking PvP, you'll probably run with your pet, because not only can your pet follow targets and prevent them from leaving combat, which is really annoying, and it's ranged, it also has additional CC that you can pop out. Not to mention it slows things. The closest to a summoner healer.
Well, I just was questioning about pet classes. I don't necessarily want to pick a pet class. I was just interested.
I mean, technically, Monk summons a statue that heals as well if you take a specific talent, but that's about it.
What's the highest damage caster? Like, you're in your
The
opinion?
highest damage caster? I think right now Arcane Mage is doing top damage. Unless they finally balance that. But Arcane Mage is kind of busted. It's like Arcane Mage is really boring, but really strong.
Okay.
Because you just cast one ability until you spend it. And that's all. So you expend your resource. Rogue is your stealth class. Warrior is warrior's
Yeah, I'm not interested in Hunter, Rogue, or Warrior.
Paladin can do the whole Trinity. Monk can do the whole Trinity.
They can heal tank and DPS.
Yes, the class
Obviously, not at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not to the same effect. The Trinity classes are Paladin, Monk, and Druid. Yeah, Paladin, Monk, Druid.
So I'm guessing Mage, Warlock can't tank or heal.
Mage, Warlock, Hunter, and Rogue are pure DPS classes. But they each have 3 unique specs. Shaman has 2 DPS specs, one based around melee, one based around ranged, and then they have a heal spec. Demon Hunters are the only class that have 2 specs. They have a tank spec and a DPS spec. And then Death Knight has 2 DPS. Death Knight can tank and DPS. They have a tank spec, blood, and then they have 2 DPS specs. If you're looking for a pet class that's actually fun, Warlock Demonology or Hunter Beastmaster would be for you. Priest has 2 heal specs and 1 DPS spec. Addy plays Priest. I don't know how to play Priest. I would not be able to teach you how to play it.
Oh, I'd be able to muddle through it, no problem.
Yeah, you'd figure it out, I'm sure, but I have no pointers for you. The most I know is if you pick Discipline spec, you better cast fucking Penance, because if you don't, everybody's gonna hate you.
What's penance?
It's your biggest heal.
Oh.
It's a short cooldown heal that damages and heals target.
Are there a healer spec that damages and heals, like you just said? Like, that's their
Uh,
thing, or
disc priest can do it. Because they have a thing where they can place they place these shields on people. They use divine shield, and it puts a buff on them called attunement. And while a player has attunement on them, any damage the disc priest does gets channeled to them as healing. Monk Mistweaver also kind of has it, but in PvE it's really lame.
I'm guessing
really
the Holy
weak.
Trinity is the most popular in dungeon runs, or
You don't
whatever
have a
you call
choice.
it.
You have to take the Trinity.
Oh, okay.
You have to have one tank, one healer, and 3 DPS.
Oh, so you can't
In
have
raids,
like two, 1, or it's got to be one of each
I mean,
then
I guess-
DPS.
I mean, if you get a group together and walk in, technically you can do whatever the fuck you want. But it's all of WoW is designed around one tank, one heal, 3 DPS. If you have tanks, if you have tanks that can pull the extra, well, in dungeons you can do whatever the fuck they want because there's no in-rage timer. But in raid you have to have. In raids you have 2 tanks. Your amount of healers will be variable. That can be variable. You can bring a certain amount you don't want to go over probably like 7. If you have more than 7 healers, you've got a problem. You do. You do. I'd say if you have more than 5 healers, you've definitely got a problem.
Well, I guess what's shaman?
Draenei's can play shaman and so can dwarves.
Shaman summon torrents of combat. Are they melee or ranged?
One spec is melee, one spec is ranged, one is healer.
Okay. So I think it's going to be out of a priest or mage, then.
Why? What's wrong with shaman?
I don't want
Shaman's a
any
lot of
form of
fun.
healing.
Shaman's
Any form
fun.
of melee.
You don't have to play melee.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want the option because it's a wasted option.
Warlock doesn't have any melee. I think they buffed enhancement. No, I think they buffed elemental shaman recently. That's the ranged one.
Is there a healing pet in Warlock?
No.
So what are the 3
You-
specs for Warlock? You said pet summoning,
Because-
DPS.
Warlock has 3 DPS specs. They have Destruction, which is all about lobbing basically giant fireballs at opponents. Warlock has, Destruction is all about upfront burst damage. Demonology is you have this small sustained army of minions. And then... What was the third one? The third one is Affliction. Affliction is all about dotting up your opponent
Okay.
and basically whittling them away.
So I'm guessing
say
it's
I'd
going
say
to be
whittling.
between mage and priest then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mage is great for damage. Priest has Shadow Spec, which is range damage, and
So
It's
mages
just
can't
decent.
heal?
they
said-
have some talents that can heal them up, but they're on cooldown.
What
The whole thing about mage is either you CC your enemy or you kill it before it can do anything to you.
So yeah, typical. What kind of specs does a mage have?
Fire, Frost, and Arcane. Arcane is boring.